Mark, yes, Louvres and the Coster.
Again, Showroom Ballroom.
True Tish.
Well, you'd hear it now there, like, I wouldn't even have a word of it, but I'd hear them speaking it, and it was like, you know, what are they talking about, you'd be saying to yourself? You wouldn't understand the word of it, like someone speaking Italian or Spanish to me now, like, you know, but I knew it was their own language, and they could talk away and about you, and you wouldn't even know what they're saying.
So then I've been working then with a man, Tom Madden, God be merciful to him. This he taught me the Bearlog, because every word that he'd say was Bearlog nearly, and I said, what is that, Mr. Madden? And then he'd say, look, boy. And then he'd say whatever he had been saying to me in our own language, let's put it that way.
So when you went to work then you just kind of automatically listened, you know, and you would hear spattles of it. You would hear men in there, especially if they didn't want somebody else to hear what they were saying. If it was a bit of a secret, they'd say like showroom mock the issues kayaking, you know, look out buddy, you know, your man is listening there.
The language was there now was that you know that every mason was called Mako, like, you know you Mako and all that, like.
Showroom the Boo now, like, that was, have a look at the beautiful boo coming up here. Showroom to the Boo Mock, you know, like, Mock was the mason, Mock, they used to call each other, like, you know, and Mako, hey Mako, you know.
And when we say, how's the boo getting on, that was the wife, you know, and that, like, you know, and...
It was cast as a garbage at that time, right? And there was different words like that, you see, the Boraboo and, you know, I got interested in all those things too, like, you know.
And the prince was a garbage. He gave them as a garboo. No, she wasn't the prince, they were garboos, we were garbages. And the wife then was the boo, and the officer called here to be no, the boo was coming. My language, the wife was coming.
All families, right, had a knowledge, right, of the trade, because it would be talked about at home, in your house and everything. Some of the old wives, right, because they were so involved, and they had to be, because their husbands and their fathers and their brothers and everything, they were involved in the trade as much as anybody, and they would know bits and pieces of the Bearlog, and they could spatter an old word here and there.
My grandmother, God be merciful to her, she could speak the Bearlog because my father taught it to her, I suppose. And at one stage, my father was down inside in Douglas Street. I think it was in the church. I think that was the name of the pub. And the masons used to go there after their meetings. They'd all go for a drink over to Douglas Street. Those that did drink. And they were inside in the bar anyway. And my grandmother happened to be inside in the snug. You see? And with the masons were chatting away, and there was the bar's mate, she must have been a fine half, as we say, you know. And with that God next anyway, one mason said to the other fella, my God, Mako, he said, that's a fine boo there, he said, I wouldn't mind having a good throw off of that, or course, truthling with it, you know. So with that, my grandmother inside, she heard what your man said, you see. And with that God, she stood up from where she was, and there was a small little door in the snug, a small little window for handing out the drinks, and she put her head in through the window, in through this opening, and she said, come here, Mako, that boo is but a boo, boy, you can get no good through there, she said to him. And what that meant was, he was after saying to the lads, he said, by God, he said he wouldn't mind having a go off her inside in bed, you know. And with that, the grandmother said, you can't have nothing off her, boy. She said, she's married, boomer. Where money was concerned now, that were called pine cures. They'd say, like, how are the pine cures? How is the money here? And you might say, that ish, that Eric there is getting more pine cures than you are, so he's getting more money than you see, and then you went and looked for the same as him.
When I started working in the fortnight, it was actually dying out then as such. But the qualified craftsmen, they had their own way of speaking to each other that you would know what they're saying, which is Bearlog, you see, right? Now you pick up phrases like how hectic the menu, my what you're saying, show road the loader, look at the walk.
I think the only word that kind of lived on, right, from the days of the Bearlog was mock. And mock was half Irish, half Bearlog, because mock, right, was the son, right. But when the Masons would be referring to mock, right, it would be butty, or it would be son, right, or it would be friend, you know. That's about the only word I'd say that lived on, right, in since olden times.
You'd hear little bits of it like Trohul, the Benu, and you know, but being a young lad at the time, it was the furthest thing from my mind. To me, like it was, you know, it was a completely different language. It was like to try to learn Irish, you know.
Well, it's not spoken today. It's died out, I'd say, since about the very early 50s, when the foreman was not respected on the job. They went to the builder and made their own deals, right? And then the Bearlog it just died out. You know.
Well, I won't say what I said, but I just
have a look at the woman.
What I said first of all was, look out, the boss is coming.